Hey everybody, welcome to 15 minutes of dedicated core work. Now I have a new mix. We got 5 exercises on deck and we're gonna cycle through them, but they are progressive, they are different than what we've done before, and you don't need any equipment. So we're gonna come down and we're just gonna do a little bit of prep work. So I always say that you definitely want to touch and feel, as that will help activate some of your muscles. So right now, just start to get into a really nice positioning. Now I'm going to turn and look at you, but I want you looking straight up at the sky if you're doing this outside, at the ceiling, wherever you're at. And I want you to just tuck the chin, think about getting into a really nice posture. And when you're there, I want you to have your arms on your hips. I want you to reach out with your elbows, and I want you to pull your rib cage in. So I don't want to see any rib flare, so to speak. Now from here, it's okay to have a little bit of space between your low back and the floor, because our back has a natural curve. But I want to make sure that the really deep pelvic floor is activated and that you're pulling that in. You also will feel your glutes activate a little bit in this position, and then you can slide your legs out just a little bit with your toes up, and that should help kind of finalize that, and you should feel like you got a lot of tension, and you just should feel like you're in this power pose position. So I call this kind of like that superhero pose. We're not going to do our core work like this, but it's great to start. Now from here, you can take your arms out to the side. I want you to just lift both feet up, and you're going to maintain 90 degrees with your legs, and we're going to do single leg drops. Good. Now this is going to heat our core even more as we prepare for one of our first moves, which is going to be a single leg and single arm leg drop. Now this is going to be the first degree of leg drop that you're going to do, and then I'm going to show you right now, you can actually drop a little bit straighter, and now the further that you go away, notice it becomes a little bit harder for you to maintain that tightness in your core. So if at any point you feel like you're arching your back, or your rib flares, or you can't keep your chin tucked, or you just don't feel like you have a good grip, I want you to scale back, and you're going to start small, and you're going to go big eventually. So we're going to go into single arm, single leg. So I want you to take a little bit of a breather. We're going to start when the clock reads 12:30. We're going to stay in each of these movements for about 45 seconds with a 15-second transition. All right, so bring your legs back up to that 90-degree position, and now I want you to raise your arms. So we're going to alternate opposite arm, opposite leg, and start when you're ready, but you're going to lower to the degree that you feel comfortable and then come back to starting position. Now I'm going to go really slow because I actually want you to focus so intently on what is actually moving that you don't have any compensations anywhere in your body. When you can really slow down and focus on the movements that you're doing, your workouts get 10 times better. And when you're doing core work, like we are right now, you definitely want to focus and isolate, because it's only going to benefit you when you're moving in the patterns in class, and it becomes more automatic. Good. 5 more seconds. And take a little bit of a breather. Okay, next we're going to do a little bit of progression from there. If you want to stay with that one, be my guest. Otherwise, watch me. You're going to bring now upper body lifted, lower body up. You're going to come into a double tuck, and now we're going to go both arms out and legs. Come with me when you're ready. So we're coming in. Now you can stay small, and then as you get a little bit more advanced, you're going to reach in, and this would be the stretched out big version that eventually you're going to work your way up to. But promise me, especially if this is your first time doing this with me, that you're going to focus on smaller movements, and then once you feel comfortable, then you add on. It's all about progressive overload. You don't need to go to the hardest version right away. Good. We're also going to add on to the arms the next set that we do. 5 more seconds. Good. Reaching long. Keep that chin tucked. Feel that extension. Take a break. Okay, we're going to flip over now into a low plank, and we're going to do an elbow, and we're just going to hold. That's going to prepare us, because our next one, we're actually going to go into some hip circles. So go ahead and slide your elbows right under your shoulders and push up for me. So just like we heated the body in our supine position, we're heating the body. I'm going to angle a little bit this way for you guys. There we go. We're heating the body up in a prone position as well. Now, I've talked about it in some of our full body strength workouts, but let's really dive into your plank positioning, because it is so important. So start at the top. I want you to tuck your chin, And now I want you to think about that same position we were on the floor. I want you to actually lift up off your spine and create length through the crown of your head all the way to the base of your feet. So that same power it wasn't a stance because we were laying down, but that same power position, you should feel that same kind of strength in your plank. Okay, drop your knees, come back to a little bit of a stretch. We're gonna come into a high plank next, and we're gonna do some hip circles. So we're gonna maintain nice stability and then move with our hips. This is such a fantastic way to create stabilization and mobility in the hips. Okay, so hold your plank. If at any point you wanna stay here, totally fine. Otherwise, we're gonna do one leg, you're gonna go two directions, then switch. So one leg, out, then sweep in. Notice, and you're gonna do the other one, sweep out, and sweep in. Notice that you're not moving. You're trying to keep everything in alignment. Keep going. I'm also gonna really call out, tuck your chin. Now this first set we're going through, I'm going really slow and talking through the form. When we do our next set, you'll be able to speed it up just a little bit more. Or keep it slow. Right, sweep in, sweep out, sweep in. Nice job. Okay, take a little bit of a breather, stretch it out, and next, we're gonna come onto the side. Now we're gonna do a rotating side plank, and I love this because now you're able to stabilize and really start to work a little bit more dynamically in the core. So let's hold on that first side. I just want you to freeze here for a second. And then when you're ready, you're gonna sweep, and we thread the needle and bring that opposite arm underneath. And now we turn and end up on the other side with our arm on our hip. And I want you to think about really nice, straight body alignment. Yes, and we're taking our time, right? Rotating plank. Now I'm gonna add an option on this for our second set, but this is how we're gonna start. But I do hope and anticipate that you guys do this workout more often. So if you already know what the progressions are when you come back, you can do them. Certainly an option. Nice job. Finish your last rotation. Take a little break. Okay, we're gonna go right into that first movement again. I'm gonna give you a little bit more time. So in 40 seconds, we're gonna start and go right into that same one that we finished with, or excuse me, that we started with. The second one, I should say, because we warmed up our supine prep first, but one arm, one leg. And we're gonna roll through all 5 of those again. Are you ready? You can also extend and do 3 sets, 4 sets, as much as you want. Okay, let's get ready. 15-second heads up. Bring both feet up at the same time. Boom. Good. Arms up, perpendicular to your body, right over the shoulder. Tighten up the core, tuck your chin. Ready? Alternate your leg drops, 45 seconds. Now if you're here, that's okay. Your head is on the ground. You're staying in an extremely strong, correct anatomical position. That is so key. That's why I really wanted to prioritize this workout for us today, because it really forces us to focus on the basics. And I always say that when you get down to it, if you can execute the basics, then you can absolutely execute all that fun stuff, but you're now doing it in a better, safer range of motion, more effective. So put in the work, and then your body knows how to move when you get into all that fun stuff that we all like to do, but we want to do it safely. Okay, take a little breather. You can bring your knees into your chest. Watch me, because we're going to add on. You're going to sweep in, and this time I'm going to add a little bit more dynamic movement with the upper body. So we're opening up the chest a little bit more. Go ahead and come with me. So this is actually working through a little bit of mobility for the shoulders and the chest. Now you can also do this without going super long with those legs, which is completely fine with me. Good. Reach, sweep it through. Nice job. Think about the muscles. We've already heated up a ton, and now you're hitting both of those legs at the same time. You have 15 more seconds. In, reach. I hope at this point in this workout, you're starting to realize that if we slow things down, you can definitely feel the progress that you're gonna make. All right, last 3, 2, 1, break. Flipping over into our low plank hold. But I'm also, because I know they're like, low plank hold, can we do something a little bit more dynamic? We're gonna add a little bit of a walkout with our feet. So come into that low plank position, hold here. Now you're just gonna go out, out, in, and then alternate directions. Now guess what? This is not a big movement. It does not need to be a huge walk, because the goal, keep going, I'm just gonna tap with you, and you're looking down. The goal is that you don't shift your hips at all. So as you're stepping, nothing's moving. Your core is controlling that. You also wanna have the same rules apply. Chin tucked, lift up off your back. Feel like you are pulling your body into a nice, long, straight beam of stability. Good, keep going. And if at any point you wanna drop to your knees, hold, that's fine. Okay, break. We got 2 more. You could do this. High plank, outside and inside. We're gonna hit those hip circles. So high plank, come on up. I love this one. All right, begin. Sweep out, sweep in. Now look down. I want you to keep that chin tucked. And just like we did with the low plank, lift up off the spine, up off your low back. You don't want, so a lot of times, keep going, all day we're kind of compressed, right? We're forward, we're compressed. When you exercise, especially when you're working on your core, think elongate, strong, tall, tuck that chin. Come on, if there is ever a time to be in really great alignment, it is when you're working out. Also, the movement patterns that we lay the foundation for here and really solidify will help our everyday ongoing. Okay, break. You win 5 seconds extra. Okay, guys, I'll give you an extra 15-second break here to get set up for your rotating plank. So this is our last set, and I'm gonna add a little bit on. You guys know I always wanna give you a little bit more progression. If you're not there today, that is totally fine. Okay, less than 10 seconds before we go. And we got our last set, and then we're gonna do a quick stretch. This is not by any means, I'll tell you guys in a second, hold. So here, you're gonna come into a little bit of a knee, and then you're gonna rotate. If you want, but you have to promise me that the only time you add that, and you can sweep a little bit bigger if you'd like, is when you feel like you can stabilize and not drop the hip. Promise? Come on. We gotta have that trust relationship. Good, keep going, team. Sweep. Now what I was mentioning is I'm gonna give you a couple stretches here at the end, but it's really not sufficient for a full stretch, so I would like you to then go ahead and make your way to our stretch playlist where we have tons of stretches for you to check out that will give you even more. Okay, you're done. You made it. Fantastic job. So here are a couple stretches that you can do. And now if you're not gonna be doing any other exercise today, you wanna statically hold. If you're still gonna be doing other workouts, because this could be a mobility warm-up, then you're gonna wanna not hold it and move more through a mobility movement. Okay, so I want you to come forward, and we're just gonna place the hips on the ground, hands underneath you, go a little bit more forward than you would think, and now I want you to come in and up, but if you need to walk your hands even forward more, just like we're doing with the plank, let's repattern and let's not sink into our low back. So I want you to lift up. You can take your hands out wide, up, but at the same time, tighten up your abs. Do you feel that new kind of, ooh, there's a lot of room in here. And if there's not, and you feel low resistance, lean into it, work on it. This is gonna be my challenge for you guys. Work on this positioning, and I'm gonna show you what not to do. Not this. We don't need to be in that position. We wanna be stretching through our torso and really elongating. Yes? Okay, now I want you to come over onto your back. And I'm just gonna give your low back a little love. So bring one knee in and then your body across. And this is a great way to just kind of wring out your spine. Great job. And switch. So those two are fantastic finishes to this quick little ab routine that are pretty much mobility based. Good, switch. Last 30 seconds, let's do one more each side. But I encourage you to go check out all the different stretches that we have if you have time, or you might feel warmed up and ready to go. Go get after another, maybe a HIIT workout, a low impact, a strength. You guys, there's so many options. And as always, I love seeing you live. And I will be back on Thursday, same time, same place, 9 a.m. Pacific time. Until then, leave comments with your questions. I'm always here for you. And thank you for joining me today. Make it a fantastic rest of your day.